Welcome to the Almond Brief, brought to you by the team at Harris Wolf Almonds, your trusted source for the latest global almond market trends. Whether you're a grower or a buyer, we've got the insights that matter to you. The goal of this podcast is to deliver information in a clear, concise, and speedy manner. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode. If you have any questions or comments, drop them below. We love hearing from you. Without further delay, let's jump right in.
Welcome back to the Almond Brief, brought to you by Harris Wolf. I'm Chase Higginbotham. Here with us again, Kevin Souza, our head of sales.
How's it going, Chase?
Kevin, good to see you. Appreciate you joining us back in the office. I know you were remote last time, so good to have you in person and be able to bring these folks the latest update from the almond industry and the July position report.
I'm happy to be here. Way better here than there.
Yeah, much nicer here than some random hotel room.
That's correct.
All right, very good. So let's jump into the numbers. Going into the July position report, we'll start off with the crop receipts. This does finish off the 2024 crop year and came in at 2.71 billion pounds. That hasn't changed much over the last couple months, but we do know that is our final number.
Yep.
And that helps us get to what the carryout for 2024 will be. So with all of that getting finalized, we have a early indication of the carryout at 514 million pounds. You know, considering what we were thinking the carryout would land at a few months ago, that's a pretty good spot.
Yeah, we'll take it. It is a pretty good spot. It's actually a really good spot, and especially when 2-3 months ago we were trending more 550 to 575. So the industry really picked up the pace, and we got that number back down to a very reasonable level, and now we get to roll right into 2025.
Yeah, it's nice to kind of come in at a manageable carryout. We did say that this is kind of the early indication of where the carryout will be. When the August position report comes out next month, the loss and exempt percentage will get factored into that number, and that should bring it down below that 500 million pound mark.
Yeah, we're thinking just sub 500 at that point.
Again, looking back at the recent history, we were just above 500 coming into this season. But prior to that, I mean, 2 years in a row at 800 million. So
yeah, we do not miss those 800 million pound carryouts. So we're happy with 5. And honestly, that 500 million pound range is perfect. That's exactly where the industry needs to be to get us through the next couple months as we transition from the 2024 crop into the 2025 crop.
Right. Yeah. It's going to take us a couple months to get stuff processed, get stuff sorted, get stuff packed. So we do need that carry out to carry us through that early processing in those first couple months. So
if it was too low, that would also put us in a bad position. So we're in a good spot.
Yep. No, great place to be. And what really helped get that carry out down to the manageable level is shipments were pretty strong this month. Total shipments were 197 million pounds.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely above expectation.
Well, above expectation for sure. Going into this report, the expectation out there in the industry was more 160, 170 more what we've seen over the last couple months. So the 197 was a welcoming number, a lot better than expected. As once again, export carried the weight of this with 147 million pounds shipped overseas and only 50 million pounds shipped here domestically. So thank you, export market, for carrying us and getting these almonds out of here.
Yeah, we like to be above that 200 million pound mark, but July is never really a barn burner. So this is a strong number. What, second best July on record?
Second best July on record. That's correct. So it might seem low, but it's actually pretty high for July.
Yeah. Very, very strong considering. And exports carrying the weight. Domestic, if you're watching this, you're in the United States, please go out, consume some almonds, buy some almonds. Let's get that number up. Let's get some shipments going here locally.
Everybody do your part.
That's it. We're all in this together. So leaving the shipments, you know, we can't have shipments without sales. So how are the sales for the month of July?
The sales were actually higher than expected as well. A total of 273 million pounds were sold last month. 173 coming out of the 2025 crop and 100 million pounds out of the 2024 crop. But if you really want to look at it, let's back up a month. And going into the shipping report and the objective report a month ago, we saw a price decrease and a slowdown in the market. Then we saw the 3 billion pound number come out, and that really dropped prices, and that caused the buyers to step back in, and it was supported by California. And ultimately, those sales that took place brought the price back up to where we are today. So it did rebound. And of those 273 million pounds sold, that all happened probably in the last 2 or 3 weeks because there was quite a little stall when those reports came out. So we see the demand still there, and if we keep selling into it and the buyers are still there, we'll continue to see this price walk up, and we're going to start off in a good spot, have good momentum going into the 2025 crop.
So the objective report came out July 12th. So you're about a week and a half into the month, but really nothing happened. Everybody was in a holding pattern. They wanted to see where that number was. So I mean, that's a lot of product to move in the last part of the month. But when we break it down, those sales are completely made up of brown skin almonds. The inshell market right now, it's kind of something we experienced last year. There's no longer a premium for inshell, and there's actually a discount. You want to talk about kind of what's going on there and how that market's shaped up?
Yeah. Unfortunately, we kind of saw this coming. We're expecting this to happen. And like you mentioned, it's kind of the same dynamics as we saw last year. Diwali, the holiday, the big almond consumption holiday, is earlier this year. Again, actually earlier than it was last year. So all of the demand and purchases for Diwali all had to come out of the 2024 crop, and most of them had to be shipped by the middle of June. So there's really no demand there, keeping prices, a little bit depressed. Also, India has received a lot of product over the last 3 or 4 months. It's going to take a while for them to get through that inventory. And then once they do, then they'll have to come back and replenish it. Hopefully by then we see prices rebound. But unfortunately, it's not going to happen in August.
Traditionally, August is the hot month. There's normally a premium. We want to get product in. We want to create as much inshell as we can, get it shipped out in August, but because you have a good return then. That hasn't been the case last year, and certainly not the case again this year. I mean, our message to folks that are delivering their almonds now, if you have the nonpareil, if you have the independence variety, depending on your sales plan, if you want to start selling off your crop early, cracking everything out, making everything into kernels is probably your best return right now. If you want to kind of see how this develops, probably storing it in our stockyard for a little bit as we wait to see how this plays out might be the good move. And then just seeing where things go. When does that premium truly return?
That's to be determined, but we'll see.
I think that sums up the report. 2025 crops continuing to roll in. We started receiving product late July, about 3 weeks ago. Fired up our hauler a couple weeks after that. Still very early, so don't really have any details as far as how the crop looks versus last year, how the crop looks versus estimates, and what turnouts are looking like. So I think we're gonna have to continue to run over the next month. By the time we get to the August position report next month and the next podcast we put out, I think we'll have a pretty good indication of how things look, one, versus last year, and how does it shape up against a 3 billion pound estimate. I know there may be some folks down south, some other processors that started running a little sooner, receiving product a little sooner. The rumors floating around out there is that the field receipts are either on par or maybe down a little bit from last year. And we're hearing some early indications that turnouts may be down as well.
Yeah. Like you said, for us, we don't have enough information to say it one way or the other. By next month, we will, but the rumors are out there, and we're hearing the same thing. The turnouts are not looking too good, especially on the non-pros. And even on my side, when I'm talking to the buying community, I don't think there's really any buyers that truly believe it's a 3 billion pound crop. They're going to think it's more than what California thinks, but that 3 billion is not on their radar. They're more in the 2.8, 2.85 potential crop size. That's the assumptions out there.
Yeah. So
yeah,
we'll just continue to watch this as we're processing product, as we're receiving product. But I think that kind of wraps everything up. Touched on the new crop, touched on the shipments overall. Positive month. Last few were kind of bad news. So
yeah,
nice to have some positive momentum back on our side. Seeing prices increasing as sales are going up.
Yeah, it feels good to kick off the new year with some good news. So happy New Year's, Chase.
Happy new crop year. Hopefully we keep that momentum going throughout the year and get prices back up to those levels before the objective came out. We thank you for joining us. If you enjoy what we're doing, hopefully we answered all of your questions. If not, leave a comment, reach out to Kevin, myself, Drew, or Joel on our grower team. Subscribe, hit the notification bell. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you all.